Welcome to the 208th edition of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss with the tightest takes around, some would say. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle executive editor and Kody, coming off a hot streak. Good weekend for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Did some great work, man.
Appreciate it.
We're also joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, and The Roof Doctor. Our first preamble, celebrating honorees at the Best of Lewis County Awards. We could just knock this out now, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Best Lewis County was last week at McFiler's. I was sadly not invited once again. How'd
I
it go?
invited you personally. You said you didn't want to stand in line to get a drink. You'd rather go home straight from work where you can just drink yourself away until like 7 or 8 and go to sleep.
I don't know what your point is.
Those were your exact words.
Anyway, how are the awards?
They were great. It was a good time. It's our second year at McFiler Shayless Theater, which is a fantastic venue. Brian Watson, our ad executive, was just dynamite on the mic. He did really good. Elijah White was pretty good too. And it was a fun night. Kody shot 1 million photos of all the honorees.
95 people were there to accept their awards.
Yeah, 95. So that's probably our best turnout. These things get better every year, and I think attendance might have been a little lower this year, but we definitely had more winners than we did in previous years that were in attendance. So it was great.
Pretty cool.
Best of Lewis County award winner would be the Lewis County Coffee Company. They won like 7 awards, I think.
Yeah, they had a whole crew up there.
Clean house, yeah.
Yeah, they won, I think, every
squad.
category they were in, and none of it felt off. It was like best coffee, best,
There wasn't like they got one and then there's just murmurs from the crowd like,
They didn't get like best banking, I guess is what I mean. It was appropriate.
They just have all their millions of employees go on there.
Yeah,
and vote.
got the vote out. And so, we've been leaking those out on Facebook and Instagram for the last week now, which most people love, but I've found a subculture of people who don't love it. Which
really?
isn't that surprising, but it was a lot of fun.
Can you go if you're not invited? Like,
Yeah, it's
you
a
can just
free
show
event.
up.
Yeah, you can show up and eat Chad and Corley's food. There was a delightful spread there.
Chad cooked himself, I understand.
No. It was great. It was a really, really good event. Event-wise, they've improved a lot around here, but events is really a highlight. Pretty much anything they touch. Debates, best of, sports awards. It's going to be a banger. You want to be there.
Yeah.
You're never going to run out of cookies either.
No, we've got cookies forever. But yeah, it was a good time.
All right.
We did not win best podcast. It was not a category.
The hell?
I know. I did put in a
sad.
request for on KLA. Let's talk about it this morning. That we are part of the Listener's Choice Awards this year. Their answer to the Best of Lewis County, best newspaper, because KLA won best radio station.
Oh, best newspaper. Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just asking that category be added.
Yeah,
not
they
saying we
should.
would win. There's some good Duval publications out there.
Who's the top 3 newspapers?
I mean, I would put the Chronicle at the one spot, obviously. I'd be remiss if I did not. And then the East County Journal, great paper.
Oh, yeah.
Nice work out
really
there.
good local
Forgot about
paper.
the East County Journal.
And then, man, I don't know, business to business probably for the third, if we're talking just Lewis County. It's a nice little publication.
Yeah, all right.
They do a nice job, of annoying me by getting good stuff in it that I don't get in the Chronicle.
Yeah, they are.
Why don't you
pretty
get it in
tuned
the
out there.
Chronicle, though?
I just need to do better. I don't know. It's like
Do you just not know-
bankruptcies,
do you just not know
property
about it?
sales. No, just staff turnover over time. Like, we've worked to try to get some of it back. But in any case, I think that would be my top 3.
Okay. Kody's back, so this is a reminder that if you enjoy local sports in Kody, tune into Sports Dump once a week. During football season, we give out the Oswald Award, and that's always a lot of fun.
What's that?
Well, it goes to a football player usually on the defensive side of the ball. So when the team has the ball, and they've taken the top off the defense,
It's pretty
the
dark.
Oswald Award winner comes in and, wrecks a drive.
Okay.
That's something I've never heard of before.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Did you think about it?
Yeah, I understand where you went with it. Just don't understand why.
I almost...
Anyway, news
Cody's
items.
just flummoxed over there.
I'm just speechless.
His ad and education,
First up,
Pandemic education.
South Lewis County Airport hangar lease policy draws opposition and ire. I kind of like the story. I don't know why. Obviously, I have no skin in the game. I am not an airplane owner.
Yeah, I'm going to admit here that Owen did a fine job on this story, but it was one of those situations where it was a Tuesday paper, and he had the best art, because he had those sunset shots down at the South County Airport with Mount St. Helens in the background, and that was a large driver of the decision to throw that out on the front page.
So at the South Lewis County Airport, some former hangar tenants are claiming Lewis County staff are selectively choosing who gets to renew their lease as opposed to who is getting evicted. There's a lot of he said, she said about who sent letters and who never got them. That's kind of going both ways. Some people are upset that their lease prices are going up. And in these difficult economic times, won't someone please think of the poor private plane owner?
The Chronicle's right there for him.
Also, last week, an act of vandalism occurred as someone spray painted the word jerk on one of the airport manager's office.
No, there's just one airport manager, John Rowe. But yes.
Yeah, and the phrase D.B. Cooper was here on another. Airport manager John Rowe also said the word tyrant was spray painted on the building. And then they spray painted jerk on my door. The sheriff's office
I'm glad you think damage to public property is such a funny thing.
The sheriff's
Tracks
office
with
is
your 2020
investigating.
opinions.
But Rowe said he doesn't expect they'll catch the culprit. Apparently, John Rowe is quite up on current events. Matt Reese is one of these hangar owners. He never got his eviction notice, but still got the power bill, which seems curious. And he tried to file a tort claim, which the county declined. I didn't realize you could just decline a lawsuit.
No, there's a claim for damages that precedes any lawsuit. You can't just, well, you can, I guess, but you wouldn't just sue the city of Centralia if you slipped and fell on the sidewalk and, it was $40,000 to fix your leg.
Yeah.
You would be like, hey, you guys owe me $40,000 on an official form. And sometimes they might be like, oh, yeah, we messed that up. Here's your money. And most other times they just deny it. And then you may file your lawsuit.
All right.
It's order to things.
Let's see. Washington County's risk pool claims specialist Adam Robles said in a letter to Reese, while it is unfortunate that your lease expired, it was not the result of any negligence on the part of Lewis County, its employees, officers, or elected officials. Therefore, we must respectfully deny your claim for damages. Seems a little odd that they'd include elected officials in there. Like, maybe somebody's like, put us in there.
I feel like that's a really boilerplate statement that he
maybe.
slapped on all the
Probably.
claims.
Anyway, Reese doesn't expect to hear from the county. The whole thing seems weird. You think a guy who flies in from Spokane and owns a heavy equipment company just couldn't be reached and they could still send him his bill?
I don't know. Not the broadest impact on this story, obviously, as you've alluded to.
No. But I
found
don't
it
know.
interesting, though, that some of these people built the hangars, but at some point the county, as per old agreement, can just come in and be like, you're out now.
Yeah.
Even though they built them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't own a plane. It's not looking good that I will ever own a plane. So,
well, not with these lease rates going up.
No.
I was about to call to inquire, but
this is the same airport that they were trying to talk about as a potential second SeaTac at some point.
Maybe this is all a move.
It could be. I don't think so. I always doubted that plan.
Isn't this airport like down in Toledo?
Yeah, they had a whole list of airports and properties across the state. They basically need another SeaTac-sized airport in the state to meet rising demand, and no one wants it near them. And so that's been in and out of the news lately.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next item. Voter turnout so far lags behind 2020 rate across the state and across Lewis County. Roughly a quarter of Lewis County's registered voters have returned their ballots. Have you guys turned your ballots in?
No, I have not.
Dropped mine in today.
I dropped mine
My
off
first election I've ever voted in.
the other day. Good for you.
Which ballot box did you use?
The one by Centralia College.
Oh, it's on fire.
No.
I was going to ask. No one's going to set
I'll
them on
pause
fire.
you and then I'll let
Lewis
you get
County.
back to your point. But we did have an update that's not on your notes. The Lewis County Auditor's Office and the Thurston County Auditor's Office have told us that their ballot boxes have fire suppression technology inside of them.
It's sad that it's come to that.
I know. But they thought maybe it was 2020
So
when they came up with that. So
Yeah.
that's pretty proactive thinking.
They didn't think they'd need that in Vancouver? Or?
I don't know. It's you probably have more boxes, I would assume. Not assume. They definitely have more boxes down there. So maybe
I should have probably taken a picture of it or something in case it gets burned so I can just show it to the people.
Yeah. You can get a new ballot. There's ways.
Yeah.
Sorry. I digress.
There's
Aaron.
a lot of safeguards in place, despite what some media outlets will tell you.
I dropped it in the box at Centralia College, or across the street from Centralia College.
Nice.
Before class this morning. I felt very patriotic on my walk to class.
First time voting, huh? Mm-hmm. Nice.
The last election, what was the last election where I know the sheriff was running? That was like
2022.
Yeah, that one was, the election day was like November 8th, and I turned 18 the next day, so I couldn't vote in that one.
Ah, I see.
Wow.
I bet you tried though.
Yeah.
No, I was so pissed I lit him on fire.
So 11 days before the 2020 election, 45% of registered voters had already submitted their ballots, according to data from Secretary of State Steve Hobbs' office. Hobbs continued, and next Tuesday we'll have a nice, calm election, which will be won by my close personal friend, Bob. Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that part out loud.
No, that part's not true. But yeah,
Just This is the same guy that was playing Dungeons and Dragons at the
Yeah, he
library
was in
the other day?
Shameless playing Dungeons and Dragons. It was 45% in 2020 at this point when the story was written, and then 27% this year. And then Mitchell had, I think, 84% of Lewis County voters voted in 2020, which was the highest since 1900.
Wow.
Because right in the middle of COVID times, I assume everybody just had more time to stare at their ballots. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what that means for any race, but it looks like unless there's a huge surge at the end, it'll at least be below that, possibly, 2020. Who's going to win all of the races, Cody? Who do you got for president? Not who you want. You don't have to expose yourself there, but who do you think is going to win?
This is a really loaded
I'll
question.
have no follow-up. It's just a name.
Don't do the boy like that.
Robert Kennedy Jr. I'll out myself.
It's correct.
People are going to come to their senses.
None of our Sports Dump Football Award has anything to say with it. Next item, the Dignity Podcast highlights youth and mentors within Southwest Washington's juvenile rehabilitation. It's created by Bobby Williams in partnership with the Washington Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Williams is the director of the Bridge Music Project, a nonprofit that hosts songwriting workshops at music venues, schools, and juvenile rehab facilities, including Green Hill and Echo Glen. For the podcast, he interviewed over 40 people through the juvenile justice system. Another podcast makes headlines in the Chronicle, whilst this host remains uninterviewed. 208 episodes in.
I knew as soon as I posted that, I was like, that's going to get there just because the word podcast is in it. It's going to make the news dump.
Never once been a story.
I mean, as much as I
podcast are we
pour
talking about?
everything that's happening at
This
Green Hill,
podcast.
it is nice to have a positive story from time to time.
That is good.
So it was good. There's a link in there. You can go listen to the podcast. It's the same program that brought rapper Macklemore to Green Hill earlier this year.
Your favorite.
Well, that was before he declared his hatred for these United States of America.
Yes.
I still listen to Macklemore. Big fan.
Next item, Donald Trump to host telephone town hall for congressional candidate Joe Kent. I hope he talks about Arnold Palmer's dick some more.
Well,
Think he will?
I don't know. I don't know why you had
Trump
to
or
take it
Kent?
that way.
Trump.
Yeah.
Trump talk about that?
Yeah. Well, in a roundabout way. That's,
Everything he talks about.
That's
is in a
happening
roundabout
tonight,
way.
and we'll have a story up on Cronline probably around 9 or 10 whenever Mitchell gets done with it, and he's going to
How-
try to record it as well.
How does a telephone town hall work?
I think in this case, and this is just a guess, but
Trump just in one of his mansions just calls up Joe.
yes, I think
Okay.
I think that's the gist of it, and
Gotcha.
you can call in and listen to it, and then they'll put out some audio later.
Edited.
I don't know that it'll be edited. Ours won't be.
All right. Next item, KVRY
Do you,
89.
hold on. Do you think Kamala offered the same for Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez, and she was like, nah.
I don't know.
Thank you, but no thank you, Kamala. Best of luck on the East Coast. Stay over there, please.
I'm doing fine over here. Have you
Just
seen
seeing
what's
as we
going
had
on?
that story this week where she wouldn't tell
Yeah.
Jerry Cornfield at the Washington Standard, one of the best leads on a political story in a long time. She ditched, dodged, and dived to get away from this reporter.
Yeah, that was good. Next item, a new classic rock station coming soon to Packwood in East Lewis County. I think this is kind of cool.
That is a cool one.
The Packwood Improvement Club is partnering with a couple other nonprofits, Cascade Community Radio and Common Communications Northwest, to bring this radio station to the area.
So will this be the only radio station you can get in Packwood, do you think?
Maybe 89.9 FM. You'll have to test it out.
Yeah. Well, you can get a Mexican radio station anywhere, so I
Well,
guess you
that's
probably
true.
have two options.
Originally, we planned to have this working in October. However, now it's looking more like December. The Improvement Club said on its website, the station will focus on grassroots operations with local artists and record collectors. It'll be a throwback with presentations and DJing, kind of like old freeform rock stations. And it will be a simulcast of its sister station, KVRN 101.5 in Portland.
What do you guys think should be their first song when they go live?
Oh, that's a good question. Highway to the Danger Zone.
I don't think that's the actual name of the song.
That's what I call it.
Okay.
What is it called?
I don't know. You guys knew what I was talking about.
I think it's just
immediately.
Danger Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one, though. I like it.
I'd probably like Elton John, I'm Still Standing or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Or The Boys Are Back in Town. It's got to be The Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I think Bill Saran should have his own show out there. Like,
I
I'm
think
not
he
even
should, too.
joking a little bit. I think put him in front of the mic, Rush Limbaugh style show like I've been trying to get you to do as a spinoff.
4 hours every
4
morning.
hours, only ad breaks, and just Bill Saran telling you what he thinks about Packwood, the surrounding area, and the county as a whole.
he's just going to one day a week bust out a copy of the newspaper and go through it and be like, here's why they're wrong.
I would listen to that.
Yeah.
No joke, I would. I think that would be highly entertaining.
I would like to declare here that organizers, this podcast is free to all. Run News Dump to your heart's content. We'd be honored to be a part of KRVY since KMNT refuses to give us a call.
I agree. Fun aside, when I was a freshman at Centralia College in 2003, Real World was really big at the time. We're in the front end of the reality show business, and I had a roommate who called around to every local access television in Western Washington, pitching a show that would be just at our apartment at Shannon Village in Centralia. Like, he worked hard at it for weeks. Mm-hmm. It did not happen.
No.
But I still thought the effort was incredible. He was just demanding to speak to station managers.
I want to talk to Kurt Loder.
This will sell.
Any other news items, or do you want to save them for the end?
Well, I'll save them for the end.
All right, we'll take a break.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments. First up, Tales from the Takes page. We've got a letter to the editor titled Intolerant Bigotry of Letter Writer is Sad Amid Important Election. This is Rashmi Sutton, and he lists off his bona fides and then politely but effectively gives County Treasurer... She? Mm-hmm. Gives County Treasurer Arnie Davis all of the business. To which I say, Arnie, more like Carney. Because just like your hero, you've got small hands and smell like cabbage.
That's a little harsh. Yeah, Arnie called in to Let's Talk About It this morning on KLA.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he wanted to remind everyone in the last minute of the show that your second half property taxes are due, which I thought was,
I hope more people write letters to the editor
killjoy.
about it. Anyway, next one. Oh, boy. My boy's back. John Braun. Those funding, quote, no campaigns have the luxury of being able to pay more. This is a pretty long column about how the people running ads against the initiatives to repeal some taxes are rich. Now, that would be a fine point in and of itself if the initiatives weren't all sponsored by a California billionaire. You can't complain about the rich people funding no ads when the whole thing started with a rich guy who didn't want to pay taxes funding the entire slate of initiatives.
I think you're wrong on both of those. I think he's a Washington millionaire. I mean,
sure?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're putting extra cheddar on it when you don't really have to. There's a rich backer, but they also had to collect signatures, like hundreds of thousands of them.
Hundreds of thousands.
They didn't force anyone, and they didn't pay anyone, so it's not.
They didn't pay anyone. They didn't just go out there and buy all the gas in the station and just give it away. And
no,
that never happened.
There was a couple events like that, but that was post signatures. I really feel like you're reaching here. I really feel like the conversation that needs to be had is how much you've been harping on Lewis County, specifically the commissioners, and their $3 million deficit, while your beloved employer, the state of Washington, is facing a $5 billion shortfall. Billion with a B, VanTuyl.
With a B, Jesus.
Billion with a B.
Oh, my God.
With that amount of lost money, you guys could pay for every county deficit in this great state, and I want to know why you personally have failed the voters and have failed the people of Washington. I want an apology for the commissioners.
Aaron, as a young man growing up in Washington, you need to tell me where you lost my future at with all this money.
$5 billion.
Look me in the eyes and tell me where these billions are.
Cody.
Yes.
The billions are theoretical. They haven't been lost.
That's what a budget is. That is literally what a budget is. That would also apply to the county.
The county budget is realistic. And when does their budget due? When is that final
I'm looking
number?
forward to.
You are
after
talking
this
about a hypothetical
today,
budget forecast.
After this
First
podcast
of all, the
today,
state always comes in over
crow
its
and
revenue
humble
budget.
pie, and we will be having dinner with Swope. And you're buying
with your theoretical bank account.
A couple other columns. Julie McDonald wrote a nice evergreen playhouse, a legacy of those who are no longer here. It's a very eloquent column after she went to the show directed by our very own Chronicle assistant editor, Emily Fitzgerald.
Why hasn't John Braun written a column about these $5 billion?
Trying to go back to it.
No, I'm just curious. He would be an expert on the situation.
I'm sure as soon as these initiatives all pass, he will be on to that one.
I think what just happened was less like the Obama announcement, more like the Trump one. I forgot this where it was like he died like a dog. I don't remember the name of the guy, but You know what I'm talking
That's
about, right?
a great take.
Yeah.
There's
I
like
think
some good
it was more
stand-up
like
about
that.
that. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
it
so
was
good.
more like that.
Yeah.
He talked for like 45
Yeah,
minutes.
he
He's
just
like,
talked shit
He
for 45
cried.
minutes.
I wouldn't have cried, but he cried.
He died in a hole like a dog.
Sorry, my levels are too loud. I'm too loud. Maureen Harcum wrote, my beef with the state's unfriendliness towards Washington agriculture. She's very upset that the promise to exempt farmers and ranchers from the CCA and the effects it would have on gas was never answered. And the Department of Ecology was basically like, nah, we're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. And then, a bunch of letters, ton of letters.
And then Mitke's column.
Mitke's column was...
Celebrating the best, both big and small.
Yes. Mitke sat in the back of the bottom area and just observed the whole night, and I was just thinking, I hope he writes a banger column about this, and he did.
Yeah,
Really
I didn't realize the awards celebrated both big and you.
Yes.
Small man.
He got a chuckle out of the fact that they announced Best Fast Food, and then that was immediately followed by Best Feed Store, which
That's pretty good.
he thought was a good comparison. But yeah, there are a lot of letters. I still have a lot more coming this edition as well.
All right. Do you want to talk about the Roof Doctor?
Of course, I want to talk about the Roof Doctor.
If your friend starts screaming at you in the middle of a podcast,
I was going to say, if you're a budget-strapped state government that needs to find some savings on your latest
you know what's going to cost a
remodel.
lot less than $5 billion is your new roof from the Roof Doctor.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe.
that's all of that is true.
All right.
Just the facts here, man.
What's the phone number for the Roof Doctor? Roof Doctor, I must say, was among the honorees at the Best of Lewis County this week for best roofing.
Well, there's one you didn't get right. Because the Roof Doctor is, in fact, the best.
Yes. No, I agree.
It's
no shots at
It's
safe
voted
cover.
on by the people.
Yeah, we can't
Yeah.
stop the steal, just like I said last year. They were runner-up, though. The contest has no credibility in that specific category.
The Roof Doctor asks, sick of your leaky podcast co-host? The Roof Doctor will take care of it. They've got 3 simple steps you can take to get things cleared up. Visit theroofdoctor.com to learn all you need to know about getting a new roof on your house. You
Any
got a lot
new
of pictures
reviews?
on the website, too.
Any new reviews? What's JB saying?
This is the time of year you want to get a new roof, man, before things get really bad.
I bet you they all get heavy phone calls around this time.
This busy time of year.
You're a former roofer, so you know about
So
these
I
things.
know the inside and outside of the roofing industry.
He had a whole career as a roofer before he came here.
Yeah, for like
It's
a
true.
year.
I'm so lost at all the beautiful photos they've got of roofs they've worked on. Can't find the reviews.
They're down at the very, very bottom of the website. But I don't think there's anything new on there. There hasn't been for a while.
Yeah, I don't think there was either.
You used to be able to just automatically input your own review into the old site. I remember totally not giving them a few positive
Yeah,
reviews
weird.
before.
All right, next item. People's Champion of the Week. I've got Wolfhaven and Tenino, which received a Global Federation's Outstanding Wildlife Sanctuary Award.
And I have Chronicle photographer Kody Christen.
Something of a wolf in his own right.
Just gotta say,
I prefer dog.
Ridley Hudson was on vacation last week. And
Oh, where'd you go?
I don't. It's neither here nor there.
Fresno.
No, but Kody came in, shot a couple news assignments. Then we sent him to Wolfhaven at like 4:35, and then he shot that. Came to Best of Lewis County, shot, as we said, like 90 photos that he then cut lined. But then Dylan called from the Swamp Cup volleyball game and said his camera wasn't working, so he ran straight there, shot that, and then ran across town to Centralia and shot the end of the Chronicle Cup, which was won by Chehalis, got those photos, and then came back here and cut lined every last one of them and had them filed ready for me on Friday morning, which he also had a photo assignment on Friday morning. So congratulations, People's Champion of the Week, Kody Christen. He did it.
Thanks, guys.
People said it was impossible.
Yep.
First host of the podcast to receive the award.
Takes a performance like that to do it.
I thought you were going to say, suck it, Wolfhaven.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my hero of the week is specifically the Wolfhaven American Red Wolves. They have like 2 red wolves there that they said were about it was 2 of like about 300 of them left in existence in the whole world. I thought that was really cool.
Have you been out there?
The Wolfhaven.
He was out there on Friday.
Did you listen to anything?
Or Thursday.
He just
Did
said.
you
Oh,
listen
I'm
to
just
that?
looking at it now. Yeah, you were out there.
Yes, I was out
I
there.
didn't
He's never
put two
been
and two
there, but he
together.
took 30 photos.
Maybe. You were just giving him an award. Jeez.
They were great photos. He did a good job.
You did.
The wolves were very, very friendly. Actually, most of them. They were pretty photogenic.
I think
climb in there with
They
them?
walk right up
Do
to.
some petting.
I was the whole time I was looking for a good background to get a photo of the 3 people that were there that we were interviewing that worked there, and This one wolf we were just standing by his cage, and he started rolling around in his cage like a madman in his enclosure. So I was like, quick, you three stand right there. I'm going to take your picture with this wolf rolling in the background.
Good photo.
And I pulled it off. I really like that one. The wolf's just in the background. He looks like he's just tweaking on the ground. And the
Wolf
three people.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, it is a good photo.
Yeah, I like that one. So that was fun.
All right.
Very, very beautiful wolves up there.
Yeah. Sirens banger of the week. Let's see. Man arrested for calling 911 numerous times to insult dispatchers.
This guy's been on this for a while, if it's the same guy. So
He was arrested for phone harassment on Saturday after allegedly calling dispatch numerous times for the sole purpose of calling the dispatchers derogatory names.
Can we interview him and try to understand why he's got so much beef with
Maybe.
these people?
We know where to find him. Yeah. Is he still in jail? Like, what happened?
I'm not sure.
Oh, he was doing this from the jail phone?
No, it's not generally felony level. So.
He really hates him.
Do you think when the cops got there, he was like, about time he showed up?
Probably.
The night before that last one, on the very same block over by the hospital, a man requested medical attention for a, quote, very minor gunshot wound to his foot. He refused to cooperate with law enforcement and only advised that the incident had occurred a long ways from Centralia and also that he did not wish to be a victim of any crime. Ain't no snitch.
Yeah, I also said that they noted twice that it was a very minor injury, so I don't know what that means exactly.
But isn't that like the same block as the ER?
It could be. I don't
It's
know.
the 900 block of South Shore.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
Hobble on over there.
He might have actually just been there. They
It
called
could
to
be.
say he got a gunshot wound. That's probably more what it was.
Let's see. This shouldn't be in Sirens Banger of the Week. It should have been in news. And the headline, this is an Olympian story. The headline was, can a Thurston County Commissioner date an employee? Here's what the law and internal policies say. I only mention it because Derek Sanders left a comment on the story that says you can do anything you put your mind to, and I thought it was great. Mm-hmm. Funny stuff.
It was a really long story about county policy. We did run it, so
Yeah.
it's been a back and forth between us and the Olympian on that story.
Did it make you think about which county employees you're shipping?
No, it didn't.
Good. Weirdo.
You brought it up.
Shayless Outfitters.
Oh, yeah. Shales Outfitters has got a lot going on. I enjoyed their post yesterday. They're pushing their Lazy One loungewear, and this is boxers that have funny messages on it. Like we got this one, nice cheeks. That's what it says on the back. There's a picture of a squirrel. Can only think this is a SpongeBob callback that isn't running into trademark issues. Sandy cheeks, don't you know?
Yeah.
There's passing wind on the back, and it's got a sailboat with wind pushing it. Bear bum with a picture of a bear. Squid marks with a squid.
I see.
Well, now we're out of the underwear now, so I don't care as much.
All right.
But yeah, lots
Check
of good
out
stuff there.
their big insert in the newspaper.
Yes, tomorrow we're going to have 6 full-page ads from them. I shouldn't say tomorrow, in Thursday's edition. They also have a big sale right now on rain gear. It's supposed to start raining again tomorrow. Today was a very nice day. I got 3 walks in. It was lovely.
Wow. How far'd you go?
I was all the way to the train tracks, and then I go back to the back of George Washington Cemetery over there, and then come out by Edison, loop my way back. Mm-hmm. Same route every time. Sometimes I do it in reverse if I'm feeling wild.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun. Anyways, rain gear is on sale. Rain jackets, rubber boots, waterproof pants. Do you have all of this stuff, Cody? Because if you don't, I bet you Chad and Coralie will get you fitted out for football and whatnot.
I believe I have all these things.
'Cause I think Friday is going to be a rainy day.
We have football Thursday and Friday this week.
And there's also a Georgia boot sale going on right now. Yeah, they just got a lot of stuff going on. I can't wait to see what is in the Thursday edition of the Chronicle. It's going to be good. Also, they have Carhartt bucks. For a limited time, spend I think Kelly told us about this last week. Spend $100 or more on Carhartt gear, and you earn 28 Carhartt bucks.
No
which,
way.
Depending on the currency exchange, can be more valuable than the dollar.
That's got to be more valuable than the dollar, right?
Yeah.
Carhartt book.
So check them out. We very much appreciate Shades Outfitters. It was so fun to have Kelly on last week. I can't wait to have her back on.
She was great.
Just a sponsored takeover. If Roof Doctor or Summit Funding wants to come sit with us for one of these, that'd be fun too.
All right, Facebook comments of the week. I've only got one. It was a story about Centralia maybe raising taxes because of the deficit. And this commenter says, over double the previous rate, way past time for an independent audit of all Centralia City fiancés. I agree. We gotta
All
get to
the
bottom
fiancés.
of all the fiancés. That was a good typo. That was, well, I won't say who it was. What's in the next edition? What do we miss?
Joel, fresh to cronline.com, we have that the Centralia City Council is going to hold a special meeting tomorrow to potentially hire a new city manager. It's going to be, who they put on the agenda is Michael Thomas. This would be the replacement for Rob Hill, who retired last May. Thomas has most recently city administrator for Amity, Oregon from 2019 to 2023. Before that, he was an officer in the U.S. Air Force, retired as a lieutenant colonel. He was also a squadron commander and a master combat systems operator. I think you can tell that our Marine veteran wrote up this this story. He has a master's degree in public administration from Oregon, a master's in business administration from Trident University International, which I haven't heard of, and a master's degree in military operational art and science from Air University. I feel like we're going to be able to finally weaponize that Goodrich pumpkin cannon out there at the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, that sounds great.
You mean you think it's not already weaponized?
We're going to move on Chehalis.
Oh, damn. They hate
Take
to see
the
us
miracle
coming.
mile at dawn. No, but they have a meeting tomorrow evening. There's details in the story. It's open to the public. He would start with an annual salary of $170,000 if hired. That'd be bumped up to $175,000 in 2025 if that is the case.
Right.
Which he wouldn't start till December, so I'm a little confused by that. Maybe there's 1 month period to decide.
Yeah, if you like
Do
it
you
or
want to
not.
spend an extra $5,000 or not?
Don't want to commit long term just yet.
Yeah, for sure. Like I mentioned, we do have a story on the auditor's office considering increased security after those ballot drop box fires down south. There's a fundraiser to raise money for the WF West football tunnel helmet, the big inflatable. Somebody vandalized it after that Tumwater game on Friday night.
Really?
Really insult to injury there, in my
It's
opinion.
just unnecessary.
There's some crime stories. Those aren't really news dumpy, though. I've got the full photo gallery up from Kody of his Best of Lewis County Awards winners. Took me a lot of time yesterday because we tried to add a bunch of... You didn't have time to, shoot, much less add names, so we tried to round them up, and it took a while.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all good. Do not apologize for such things. We have a roundup of Halloween happenings. What are you guys going as this year? What topical news item are you taking and then adopting college
I don't
style
know. I haven't
prematurely?
I don't have anything.
You're waiting for news to break over the next 48 hours for your costume.
I'm gonna take a. I'm gonna dress up as a burning election box.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be the college way. As I told you, when I was in college, the go-to shock uniform or costume in 2005 was the Steve Irwin with the stingray
Damn it.
through you.
Yeah.
Everybody, way to go. Here's one that I know you'll like. State lawmaker to make another push to, quote, ditch the switch for daylight savings time. The full name of the act is Ditch the Switch and Grab Your Cats, because this one's from Jeff Wilson. That was for you. Let's see.
What are you guys at on daylight savings time?
I think that it's fine. I don't know. I've never known anything else, so
Yeah,
I'm
I
not,
don't like.
It's not a big issue for me.
I can never remember which one's going where or what it does. So
I
it's
never
not-
really understood it.
So Arizona and Hawaii, I believe, are two states that don't recognize it at all.
See, like Hawaii, it doesn't really matter. They're
Yeah.
kind of in their own time zone. Arizona, it just
Yeah, they're-
screws everybody up.
They're their own thing. We had dueling stories. We try to make sure to be fair down the home stretch of Marie Glusenkamp Perez on a Let's Fix crap. It's just a bunch of ampersands and symbols, but it's supposed to be Let's Fix shit, I assume.
Yeah.
Tour that she's doing on her home stretch, so we stopped
That's
in
like
with her.
that's like right to repair stuff, right?
Yes, yeah. And then we also stopped in with Joe Kent. He had Speaker of the House Mike Johnson down in Clark County, so Mitchell headed down there. I'm proud of Mitchell. Mitchell's done a really great job. We always try to do this, but if we're going to have a Kent story in there, we try to have MGP. If you're going to have MGP, you try to have Kent, because that's going to be a close race. I don't want to be blamed for the outcome of that one way or the other.
MGP is allegedly doing her fix shit tour in an RV.
Allegedly, didn't you take pictures?
No, I didn't take pictures because I didn't know there was an RV until after.
I see.
I would have went and found it if they told me. We did not get invited on it, though. Yeah,
Let's see,
me and
anything
Mitchell.
else? Anything else? Nope. But the next time we podcast, it'll either be on the election night or the day after. I think we should do it next Wednesday so we can talk about all the outcomes
Election night pod.
Sure. Yeah.
and see if the state's whittled down their $5 billion deficit by then.
Maybe they'll have it down to 4.
Yeah.
Can you give me some hard numbers on that? I
You
would love
just
to
in
see
your
'em.
massive $5 billion glass house hurling rocks at the Lewis County Courthouse.
I like how your theory is like, this email I got says that if the state doesn't balance their budget, which they are legally required by the Constitution to do, they'll have a $5 billion deficit in 2027.
You can just grow the size of government, you know? Is that what Lewis County has been doing,
If
or
I
is that
keep-
what the state has been doing?
If I keep shitting my pants every day forever, I will have an entire room of poop.
I mean,
Talking
what
in your
are you
high
talking
pitch,
about?
talking in your high pitch
Yeah, it
doesn't help prove your point,
It
Aaron.
doesn't help prove your point.
Just makes
It's
you
like,
look silly.
How do you
What is your guys'
How do you
point?
defend the growth in this? It's not even a conservative, just a the
I'm
growth.
not defending
in
it.
Our point
He admits it. He admits it. Out.
Our point is
cut the feed.
Our point is where's the money, Aaron?
The money doesn't exist, so it can't be missing.
Bullshit.
I don't think either of you know how budgets or money works.
What we need is a new state agency and a new tax at the state level to, help the struggling state government fit this $5
Oh,
billion.
are you pitching Donald Trump's Doge agency?
Oh, he's pivoting to Trump now. Typical
Look at it,
liberal.
look at it. Of
Typical.
course.
Typical.
It's all
Trot
Trump's
out
fault.
the boogeyman. Trot out the boogeyman.
God, you two are just like it's just like
There's blood in the water, sir.
like a toddler's kicking a soccer ball against the wall.
These ad hominem attacks
I
will
don't know
not,
anything
will not
works.
erase the $5 billion deficit.
He's finally the one getting picked on. He doesn't know how to act.
Take that, you bully.
Baseless accusations, first of all. I'm sitting here with 2 grown men with allowances lecturing me about finances.
It's true in my case, Cody. I don't know about yours, but
No. Stopped having an allowance at like 15, man.
It was like
It's
3
like
years
5
ago.
years ago. 5.
he's rounding up.
In closing, we're sponsored by Summit Funding. You triggered? Shayless Outfitters and the Roof Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.